Yeah, here we is.
Yep. Hello, Saturday Night Live. We're here. It's us. It's two Moors again. Those two crazy Moors. Well, let's get the libations going and the mantra. You don't need to see me. Now, the revelation of the divine spark. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now, being and becoming the great primordial dragon god sign kundalini flames, now whirling and ascending up our spines from our root chakra to our central heart chakra, all the way up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amenel chakra, our hidden priestly grandmaster Magi dragon god son king and queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon god son kings and queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 armies of 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 armies. Now, willing all of the powers, all of the forces, all of the elements, all of the powers, dark matter and dark energy and ethers ruling the entire omniverse, earth and physical and spiritual matrix and heavenlies in the absolute all into being and becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our will's objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into realization, actualization, and form as we are now will and commanded to be. Now, coming down as all coming down as the unlimited source of energy that we need now to overcome and defeat all of the obstacles in our way, completely dissolving all of our problems, worries, lack, and fears into complete nothingness. Now, manifesting into our lives as all of the substance that we need to rebuild our life into the proper order and law that we will command and desire it to be, as we only affirm the positive abundance of the absolute all, as an eachness and oneness in the absolute all, manifesting into our lives as divine love, perfect health, vitality, and abundance of prosperity in the absolute all, enriching our lives and the lives of all that are around us, protecting us from all of the evil of human thoughts and deeds, neutralizing all of our enemies, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and total destruction upon all of the evil soulless counterfeit spirits and robots, the automatons, the ignorant walking dead, and their Lord and God, the demiurge, and all of the archonic forces enslaving and feeding off of the divine spark, the Kundalini race, and all of the deities aligned against us, enslaving us in grotesque matter to be reborn, live, suffer, and die over and over until now. As it is our time to rise up to conscious unity, as they all fall, as all out war, judgment, death, and destruction is upon them all, as we are now willing commanded to be, through the power, force, might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible life from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Abracadabra, ashe. Okay.
Presto changeo.
Yep. Okay. Now here comes the other. All right. Crown chakra day libations. Ain, the nothingness, ashe. Ain soft, the infinite, ashe. Ain soft door, the infinite light, ashe. Adam Catman, Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days. Arik Yampin, the big face, the primordial Christ, ashe. Absolute emanations, the supernal holy universe manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical names, the cosmic Christ, ashe. The the great abyss of gnosis manifesting in us as our crown is rampant, the small face, the indwelling Christ, Ashe. Berea, form, creation, and paradise manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, dark archangels and demons within us, Ashe. Yetzirah, formation manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical orders of dark angels and demons, Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, the universe of action, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly kingdom, Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeshida, the holy, divine, infinite, magical spark, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical will, Ashe.
Ashe.
Heya, our holy, divine, infinite, magical life force, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical desire, Ashe.
Ashe.
Neshama, our holy, divine, infinite, magical heavenly soul, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical heavenly thoughts, Ashe.
Ashe.
Ruach, our holy, divine, infinite, magical soul, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical words spoken through us, Ashe.
Ashe.
Nephish, our holy, divine, infinite, magical earthly soul, manifesting into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be, Ashe.
Ashe.
Kether, the supernal crown, Ashe.
Ashe.
Hakma, wisdom, the supernal father, Ashe. Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother, Ashe. Da, the great abyss of gnosis, Ashe.
Ashe.
Hesed, mercy, Ashe.
Ashe.
Deborah, judgment, Ashe.
Ashe.
Tiferet, beauty, Ashe.
Ashe.
Netzik, victory, Ashe. Had, glory, Ashe.
Ashe.
Yesod, foundation, Ashe.
Ashe.
Malkut, the kingdom, Ashe. The power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The primordial cosmic flower, constantly blooming the absolute all into being, Ashe.
Ashe. Isis Ashe. Empress Ashe.
Ashe.
Destiny Ashe. Cyrus Ashe.
Ashe.
Tyler Ashe.
Ashe.
My Aunt Ashe.
Ashe.
Chronos Ashe.
Ashe.
Lucifer Ashe.
Ashe.
Um, all the gods known and unknown, all the goddesses known and unknown. Ashe.
Ashe. So back on post millennium process. I mean, what else is there? That's,
What you mean? What else is there?
I mean, what else is there to really, really other? I mean, to for conscious Moors to be focusing on
Political unity.
political unity. Well, yes. Well, that they both go together, I guess. Wouldn't you say?
What?
The post millennium process, and I mean that's going to
The
happen
only way
too.
we can ever realize post millennium is if we have political unity. Meaning we have to all be on the same page on our political identity as being Moors. We
Mm-hmm.
have to all be um, aware of our Moorish history, which is Moorish jurisprudence,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to be aware of Moorish treaties, because that's where our power lies. Now, all of these brothers, to me, I feel like I said, 85 to 90% of them are sellouts and
Yeah.
sisters. 80 to
Yeah.
95%, because what we're saying,
Yeah.
they know about it, but they try to play it down as if it's irrelevant or something, and that's where they're selling the people out at.
And what would be the benefit for them to sell themselves and their own people out?
Because the whole week, that whole black uh, Pan African, we came over here from Africa. It's the money. It's the industry.
Oh.
The Jews, the Jews are giving a lot of money to those cats,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Anybody who perpetuating the African, we came over here from on boats from Africa. They brought us here for the whole slave narrative has been presented to us. That's big
Yeah.
money. It's a lot of big money in that, bro. Because what
Mm-hmm.
happens is, and then also you got to consider that a lot of our people are too emotional. They're not logical. They're not critical in thinking. They're emotional as hell. So
Yeah.
all we're coming at people with logical and critically thinking, right? All they
Yeah.
can do is dismiss what we're our logic and just say, "Oh, I feel this way," so forget all that logic you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's all. That's mainly what I get from most of the people when I'm presenting the information. Like it's like you can't go over, under, or around the fact that when you're dealing in the political, mind you, we're talking about political science. We're not talking about religion. We're not talking about. We're not talking about uh, uh, um, ideologies and as it pertains to you know what I'm saying, sex, different
Mm-hmm.
sex and stuff, and different ideology. No, what we're talking about, we're referencing international law. We're referencing history of the international world
Mm-hmm.
that connects the dots that correlate to our present status today. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah. And if you're hot, you know what where you've been, but you're trying to sabotage the rest of us from knowing and for participating in our real true status, then what does that make that person? I mean, yeah, sell out.
Trade out. They're a trader to the nation. What I see is like trading, our being a trader to us is
Yeah.
our culture now. That's our culture now.
Yeah.
Selling each other out is our culture now. That's our
Yeah.
culture. You can't. Y'all want to try to make it seem like we've got this deep. And of course, we've created what you call American culture because that's just how our creative spirit is. But
Mm-hmm.
we've degenerated. We given all that stuff because that's not associated with. Right now, people have the audacity because it's an illusion of inclusion, and it's all also we want to be accepted by damn near everybody because of our mentality we've adopted in slavery. We've
Yeah.
adopted a mentality of inferiority that we want to be accepted by everybody. We think that we the children on the and everybody else is our children actually.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
we don't want to. Now we don't want to take that position no more of being the mothers and fathers of humanity, man.
Well,
That's what
yeah.
we the
Yeah.
mothers and fathers, and we the ones trying to act like we the children now, and that's the problem.
We wearing the short pants now. Willingly putting on the short pants when we supposed to have on the big pants.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're fighting over our natural resources because the whole globe belongs to us. The indigenous people around the globe are melanated. It's undeniably melanated people.
So only we can bring back harmony to the planet.
I mean, we the only ones set and fit, and we have the only one have the nature to do so. Anybody else is going to do what they're doing, and we've adopted their way. This is why we're so self-centered, and
Mhm.
we don't think about nothing but ourselves. But that was adopted because they created the Negro. You got to read the Negro Factory.
Yeah, the Negro Factory.
Yeah, man, they
Yeah.
produced it. All these people walking around thinking they're unique, and you're nothing more than somebody's cliche they created in their laboratory, their think tanks. They created y'all.
You're a creature.
Yes, you're not a sentient being operating through your own divine spark, right?
No,
Somebody has hijacked your divine spark, and now you're operating as their non-participating character and shit.
NPC. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of NPCs out there. And right now is a real magical time with all these portals opening up, or we're opening up portals, pulling in energy that that's gonna change everything. Here's where everything completely changes. Right here. Here's where each one of us change. No going back. And as we go through these portals, you can't bring the old shit with you. If you do, you're gonna get left behind. The portal gonna close and you're gonna be stuck.
Right. I mean, there's going to be two split realities. It's going to be the
Exactly.
reality of the lower people who refuse to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to have the ones who are going through the process of evolving. It might be three because you got those who they've been inundated and indoctrinated and socially engineered to where now, because you got this crazy how some people are snapping out of it immediately around this energetic period of conditioning of the cosmos right now. They're snapping out of it like that.
Yeah.
Then you have this is why mental illness is up right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of what you call a mental illness is really just people snapping out of the matrix.
Mm.
Right? It's gonna have an effect on them psychologically and emotionally to snap out of the matrix to realize everything that they've been told was a fucking lie. It's gonna have a
And
psychological and mental impact.
yeah, and then they haven't figured out how to develop the inner self, the true inner self, the inner self that's manifesting the outer self.
Right, because there actually is only the inner self because that is the programmer.
Yeah, and the effect is the outer world.
Right, right,
Hmm.
which is the illusion being created by the programmer. The programmer is creating the program that you see in the simulation. This is a simulation. This is an advanced simulation.
Yeah, very
But we're
advanced.
we're creating it collectively because this is why they have to spend so much. The government figured it out a long time ago. Long as
Hmm.
we hoard them like shadow, like cattle, because they evolved what they call the slave system. So now it's just voluntary servitude, the 13th Amendment. Y'all got to go study this stuff. Why would they abolish slavery and involuntary servitude? Why would they use that language? Think about it. Why would they use abolish slavery and involuntary servitude except for imprisonment? Why would they use the language? Because what they telling you is what they did was they restructured slavery, the system. They
Hmm.
restructured it, right?
Oh,
They didn't
uh,
get rid of slavery. They just made it where anyone can, because you are unfit to be a slave because your competence. If you
hmm.
if you if you're incompetent, I mean, just by your incompetence, you deserve to be a slave,
Yeah.
right? But we look at it as very because they're convincing us that we should have feelings and yeah, we should have feelings for those who actually do the work and have feelings for themselves, right? So this is the mentality. Oh, we should have feelings and feel sorry for them because they're not competent enough to not fall into servitude, right? Well, you're not helping them by coddling them.
I don't. You kind of lost me there. What is the?
What you mean I lost you about what? I said you're not going to free these people by coddling them, by feeling sorry for them, because this is the mentality they had during the civil rights movement. Let's
Oh.
play off of the moral argument of slavery and it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that, right? We are more aware of that. But that's technology when you are approaching it from that perspective, when the answer is self-sustainability. If as long as you are dependent on someone else, you're a slave, period.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're all, in a sense, a slave to each other and ourselves. We're dependent.
I wouldn't refer to it as slavery in that sense though, because that symbiosis, it could be used to take advantage. But if we are all vibrating at a higher level, why would we take advantage of each other when we need each other? This is what's happening now. We vibrating at such a low level that no one is like when someone can be put in those conditions, everybody can,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what has to happen is we change the culture, right? We got to stop being so materialistic, superficial, shallow. We got to stop being so vindictive with each other. We have to start being more accepting of each other, and we stop playing classism with each
Mm-hmm.
other. If we stop doing these things with each other, we're going to
Mm-hmm.
realize that the system has put us and pinned us against each other for its own agenda. They have an agenda.
Yes, they do. And then how do we recognize when the difference between people who just there are some people that just completely just given up on everything and just let themselves go
We can't do nothing for them.
and can't do nothing for them. No, you can do this. No, you can't.
I mean, that's the problem. There lies the problem. We spend too much time focused on people who don't want nothing for themselves. If you're gonna keep on doing what you're doing, and you're your own victim, the only person who can change someone is themselves.
Yeah,
You're a victim. You're the only one who's the number one factor in all the failure in your life. So
yeah,
you gotta change
that's
that
true.
mentality.
I mean, but why is it such an epidemic of that?
This is the culture. This is colonization.
Then there's something in this. Yeah, well, then this culture is poisoning the people.
Right, because
It's,
they're making them dependent when they should be all thinking self-sustainability as a collective.
they make them dependent on conditions, and then their human
Right.
nature makes it impossible for them to follow up on those conditions because of their weaknesses, and they just fall off.
Well, those conditions make them weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker over time. Like you become weaker and weaker because they've been providing for you like a slave. Now the slave basically get a Stockholm syndrome. Now you're Stockholm syndrome now.
Oh, yeah. Well, this slave master is so cold. This motherfucker opened up the border and let other people in and giving them all the money in the houses.
Oh, that's regular tactic. That's regular tactic on the plantation.
The
That's a
regular.
regular tactic on the plantation.
Mm,
you pin one group of slaves against another group of slaves. That's
yep.
regular tactic.
Regular tactics. Okay. Then damn, this colonialization shit is just it just keeps going, and the beat goes on.
Right. And then guess what? Y'all,
What?
we're using the word slave, right? But
Yeah,
actually, we should be using the word workers.
workers. Mm.
Because workers ain't nothing but wage slaves. And in the present economy, let me tell you why you're a wage slave. Because in the present economy,
Yeah,
you're only working to survive.
on a plantation.
Yes, you're only working to survive.
Yeah,
Pay bills, food, get back and forth to work every day, and that's the end of your money.
yeah. You're only working to barely exist.
Right.
That's not even really existing.
No. This is why well people spend a lot of time indulging in pastime and shit. This is why the Diddy situation is going on. People
Yeah,
spend so much situation trying escapism. You know what I'm
sports
saying?
right now. Sports is bigger than any religion.
That's definitely a sign of a slave system, man. Right?
Hmm.
When you got distractions, when you got all of these elaborate events that can distract people from their depressive dependent life on, that you perpetuating their slavery
Yeah.
because you're giving them trinkets and now they're happy and they're convinced that, oh, this is all I need. This is this is a direct house nigga field nigga situation.
Hmm.
Because the house nigga, he get a little bit more privileges. This is a tactic because now he getting a little bit more than the field nigga, and now he's going to convince other field niggas, yeah, nigga, eventually you can get in the house. Eventually you get in the house. Just stay right
Hmm.
with the mafia, keep kissing his ass.
Hmm.
You eventually get in the house too. It's like a
Yeah.
prestige. You know, all these niggas walking around, they walk around and they so happy they got a goddamn job.
Yeah. They have on they
They
you
walk
know,
around with their damn job suit on all damn day.
yeah. The slave
Right?
suit. Yeah.
Then they don't understand that that's a condition of slavery.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, you so proud of yourself. Master got you very proud of yourself, and that works in Master's favor.
Yep. So he give you awards and bonuses
Right.
and
Why can't you be more like this nigga here?
yeah. Yeah, I know. I see. I'm on the plantation. I'm getting ready to take a nice vacation away from the plantation and working on my eventual escape.
I mean, really, the only escape is going to be when humanity wake up and overthrow these terrorist globalists and begin to learn that these people are few in numbers, but they have co-opted and fucking hijacked all of the Earth's resources for their own
The
purposes.
technology, and they can use it against us.
Right. We got to recognize that we outnumber them. They're not. You notice that nothing is in the interest of the people. Like for example, with this whole immigrant issue, y'all got
Hmm.
all this money for immigrants, and the people are suffering right now and homelessness. And I'm talking about
No,
actual Americans
but
are
the
suffering.
hurricanes. Well, they just had these big ass hurricanes. You know what Kamala Harris just told those people? They can get a
$700
$750 check, but the immigrants getting like almost 10 grand and a house.
and somewhere to stay. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
But you're a
don't tell
citizen.
me don't tell me there's not an agenda when they got all these immigrants coming over here, right?
Hmm.
Knowing we have these economic for real so-called Americans who've been here, right?
Hmm.
And you got all these immigrants coming over here, they're so happy to be here that they're gonna. I see it happening in the future. I see the future right now because they finna come and establish themselves now. These
Yeah,
immigrants,
yeah,
right?
and they're gonna kill off. They're gonna kill off as many regular Americans as they possibly can.
Mind you, these immigrants coming here don't have loyalty to us as we should have for ourselves. We don't have that much loyalty to each. I'm talking about Americans don't have that
Mm-hmm.
much loyalty to other Americans. But imagine a foreigner coming here when all their whole agenda is to squander or blood suck off your natural resources.
Yeah, off of your tax, your treasury, our
Right,
treasury.
right,
They sucking off of our treasury.
right. And
Yeah.
then the thing about it is, the people who are put in the consent of power of the people, the consent of power of the people. I mentioned the consent of power of the people because the government is a direct result of the consent of the power of the people. The people gave the government power to handle their affairs.
Yes, they did.
So, as a result, whenever the government is out of hands, this is what people are. This is why so many people are not in outrage because they don't even know how shit works. We should be outraged. They don't supposed to be work. They work for us. They sending our tax dollars to Ukraine and motherfucking
Israel.
That's
and
our money.
And everybody else. Those not the only ones they sending it to. They send it to
and guess what? Guess who already up on the shit? And they using this because they're a gang of knuckle draggers too in their community. The alt-right, the alt-right community, the you know what I'm saying? That's full of militant motherfucking white boys, mad as a motherfucker right now. And they seeing this shit. I think, to me, if you look at it for really what it is, this is not no coincidence. These people are not stupid. They doing this shit on purpose. Everything they doing. Why would Hillary? I mean, what's the bitch name?
Kamala Harris.
Why would she sabotage her own fucking campaign and say something out loud that? Think about it. We only got $750 for hurricane victims when everybody already know y'all sending millions to Israel and Ukraine. That's sabotage, ain't that? She purposely sabotaged. I'm looking at a bigger agenda, man. Why are they doing this? You got to realize that everything ain't all cut and dry. There's nuances, man. Everything ain't just left or right. Everything ain't. Y'all got to think deeper.
Well, maybe they want to let Trump get in, and they're gonna crash the economy.
I think that's part of the agenda. Yes, because she just sabotaged her whole campaign by saying that bullshit. Think about it.
Oh, she said, "Oh, well, shit." Did you see her 60 Minutes interview?
I haven't. Everything I have seen is a weak ass campaign because all she's doing is trying to appeal to the bottom feeders. Everything she's doing is trying to appeal to the bottom feeders. People who actually know the issues, she don't even care about them right now.
The only thing she's trying to appeal to is the campaign contributors.
Well, that's another agenda too. This is why they had a bill they was about to pass where they wanted to get money out of election campaigns, which will totally turn the tables on everything. Because once you got the lobbyists willing and their special interests out of the. I mean, they have no other answer. They have no other thing but the answer to the.
But who would enforce that? How would you enforce that?
I mean, enforce it through legislation. What do you mean? I mean, you put it through legislation. Not enforce it through legislation, but you pass legislation. Now, people who are in offices to make sure certain laws are enforced are in charge of that at that point.
Who would? Yeah, but see, then
they probably would have to make a special department, or I don't know. I don't care. Yeah. I don't give a
It
fuck.
has to be
Me
a special
personally, this shit
department.
collapsing. I don't even know why we having this discussion. This shit done.
Yeah, that's true.
This shit is over.
Oh man, it's fuck. We're past stick a fork in it. Shit, we already they stuck a fork in it and ate the shit all up, and there ain't nothing left.
Right. And people
ain't
still
nothing left.
speaking of it. It's like what's the movie Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah.
America is Bernie.
Yeah.
They try to crop that motherfucker off and shit. Yeah, that motherfucker dead and shit though.
Now, but Bernie's all decomposed and shit.
Oh my god, that it's obvious. It's obvious that the motherfucker is decomposed.
They got decomposed corpse, all dressed up.
Right, a decomposed corpse.
Yeah, with some AI implants.
And you know this because look at the past 5 to 6 years. Everybody looks at America as a freaking joke. I'm talking about the international community.
Yeah, but someone sabotaged that. That was done purposely, and maybe that was done by the corporation itself or someone at war with the corporation. But some force is behind all this.
I think, me personally, I think because the energy is the biggest powerful thing. How the energies is moving now, where this whole reality, you can't do that low vibrational stuff you've been doing because you're gonna get trapped into this lower vibrational world. These two Earths that's happening is gonna be a lower vibrational Earth, and that's gonna be devastating. That's gonna be it's gonna be bad for y'all, man.
Yeah, that's
gonna be another Earth. It's gonna be a whole another Earth where people who are progressive, people who are thinking outside of the old paradigm and who have freed themselves from the matrix, who are creating a culture of self-sustainability, right? Who are using these new realizations of the nature of reality, because now I'm finding out there ain't no new technology, man. This shit is old as hell.
Oh, it's coming back into the realization. It's all post-millennium.
All of it, man. All of this shit is like, this shit is old as hell. And they trying to market it as like it's some new invention and shit. No, this shit old.
No, it's just new to us. It's just that we were now getting exposed to something that's been here, God knows for how long.
And the thing about it is, this is the split reality that I'm talking about. It already got split hundreds of years ago. Why? Because they already made decisions based on this parallel universe where it doesn't make sense, or it doesn't calculate with the alignment with the divine, right? It doesn't calculate with the alignment of the divine, because we have the capabilities right now to be self-sustainable, where we don't have to be on oil dependency. That energy, I mean, that technology and that knowledge is here. We have the knowledge. Our ancestors had the knowledge. Why are we still allowing these markets, these damn fossil fuel monopolies, to hijack humanity like this?
And then
we don't need them no more.
But not only that, but they're trying to go to electricity next.
Electricity ain't nothing more than the same bullshit, because what's generating the electricity? Unless you got some type of free energy type technology that you're utilizing, where you're just pulling energy out of the air, which we don't know the impact of that type of shit. That's another thing. They might create some shit like that, but we don't know the impact of extracting air. See, I think there's technology that you can literally create electrons if you want to. You can create them. You can create water if you want to. Just bring these elements together. We just are not.
Well, they have
the vibration we on is selfishness, hate, greed, lust. All that energy is making it where we're not thinking sustain humanity, and they talk like that for their campaigns. Oh, we doing this for the greater of humanity. No, but the intention, your intention is exploitation, though.
Yeah, well, they sing a great story. They do it all every 4 years, sing this wonderful story, but then over the next 4 years, you see something totally different.
But that's our fault too, as the people, right? That's our
Yeah.
fault too, because we have been welled into sleep. We've been put under a spell, and we are naive and want to dwell in our emotions and be lower vibrational so much that we let them get away with the shit constantly, because we don't want to vibrate on a higher level. That's us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I I was I came in this, man. I was a freedom fighter, ready to overthrow the government type thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to realize that, why in the hell am I the only one seeing this stuff? I know y'all see what's going on here, and it's about that time we should have overthrew these motherfuckers by now.
Yeah. I mean,
I know
we
everybody see this shit, but it's like when I went to the county. I went to the county one time. They picked me up on some bullshit. You know, every once in a while they be having to fill their quota,
mm-hmm.
and they pick you up over the weekend so they can put you on the bus to go to and bring you back, because they utilizing resources that they have to account for at the end of the year and shit,
Mm.
right? So they pick people up every once in a while just to run them through that bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was in there for a minute, so I had to use the phone. You know, it's segregated in the sense of the Mexicans have their own phones.
Mm-hmm.
So-called black people have their own phones, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, I've never been exposed to the environment. It's my first time and shit, right? So I'm
Yeah.
using the Mexican people phone. I'm using the Mexican people phone, right? And the
Yeah.
Mexican dude came up to me and said, "You can't use that phone." I was like, "Man, you better get away from me, man." You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
the brothers start echoing his sentiment, like, "Nah, bro, don't use that phone," right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Okay, man. Well, if this is the sentiment where we got to be segregated and use different phones and shit," but that just shows me the divide that the people are on. The people are on a petty ass divide that can't allow themselves to see the bigger picture, which is we all are suffering by these exploitive, imperialist, tyrannous, you know what I'm saying, groups. Because it ain't
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them. It's not a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? But they have mastered. It's not a lot of them, but they have mastered uh, enslaving the people, putting the people in the servitude, or putting fake tricking the people to put themselves into servitude. They've mastered that.
And yeah, and they amassed a great army.
Those are
They got
slaves. Those are slaves
yeah.
too. See, and that's the thing. Once everybody realized, and I'm talking about slave in the sense of they're in servitude. You know, slave is a nationality, Slavics, right?
Bombs.
But we're
Yeah.
we're just talking about all of humanity right now is under the tyranny of some elite group that is utilizing the fact that they have upper hand, because we have everybody looks at the elite as someone who deserving of leadership, the leadership positions. They're deserving of the
Mm-hmm.
leadership. They got all the money. That don't make them deserving of that shit. It's because they got all the influence. They deserving of the leadership. No, that's backwards thinking. Only people who deserve leadership is those who will get amongst the people and do what they would. They wouldn't do nothing that they wouldn't tell the people to do. Those are
People
people
that
who
serve
deserve leadership. Most of
people
these
that
goddamn
serve humanity.
congressmen. This is what I mean. Most of these goddamn congressmen who will send your children to fucking war, You think they sending do you think they sending their children to war?
Hell no. They'll send yours.
That's what I'm talking about. But this level of being able to play this classism amongst the poor and the rich and the middle class. Everyone is playing classism with each other. Like some people are more important than other people, and this is the culture, right? Some people are more important than other people. So most people have bought into the whole global warming shit, right? Global warming says literally, in order for us to bring down the temperature of the planet based on that pseudoscience, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's actually happening. It is heating up, but not based on what y'all talking about. But
no.
Well, what I'm saying is the global warming thing, right? What they're suggesting is that we got to wipe out a certain amount of people. Do you know how many other people on the planet agree with this shit? They said we got to wipe out a big portion of humanity in order for us, because they're talking about the carbon imprint. Y'all not following up on this shit. They literally telling you they're making an excuse to kill you.
Yeah.
Called global warming. Okay? Anytime you hear these motherfuckers saying global warming, they're making an excuse to kill you. And guess what? Y'all so hateful towards humanity when you're a human. Most humans hate humans too. So most humans want to be the elite to destroy all the humans that are not worthy. Just like think about what I'm saying. Most humans hate humans and want to be the elite and be able to destroy as many humans that they see fit. Because think about what I'm saying. This is why criminals, tyranny, all these people who have no concern about humanity are able to get away, because all y'all want to be them. Y'all want to be the one that got your hand on the bus and can kill off 100,000 motherfuckers and not feel no consequences from it. Now, question that in yourself right now. Are you that? Because this is what I'm saying. How do I know this? Because of how people treat each other.
Shit, go on TikTok and you'll see the road rage. Shit people do in road rage or just in public with each other, period. People are dangerous.
Humans don't care about humans.
No.
Humans don't care about humanity. Most humans, 80 to 95% of humans don't care about humanity. Stop it. They don't care. They did that movie. They did a movie recently, and they showed, I think it was the Batman movie, where they showed that incident where I think it was the Joker who gave a bomb to one group of humans and a bomb to other, and he said, if y'all want to be free, you got to kill those humans. Right?
Yeah.
They were about to kill each other. Somebody came in. See, they try to make it seem like there is an ounce of humanity in humanity, because they end up not killing each other. Guess what? In a real scenario, what you think would happen?
They killed each other.
They would have killed each other. I hate to be so damn cynical, man. I don't want that to be our nature. I don't want that to be who we are now. I don't want that to be. That ain't what. I just know that's the energy y'all vibrating at. Why is this the energy y'all vibrating at? Because we're in the circumstances we in today. If y'all wasn't vibrating on that level, Would we be in these circumstances?
Probably not.
Because why probably not? Because we probably would have got our faculties up and been like, wait a minute. The only reason people don't want to overthrow these tyrannies because these tyrannous motherfuckers is because
Mm-hmm.
they probably agree with them. Yeah, we got to kill
Mm.
off some of these humans. So I can survive. Well, if you think like that, if that's how you think, kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Kill yourself right now. If you're one of these motherfuckers who think that some people have to die in order for us to bring the temperature down on the planet, for others to, kill yourself then.
Oh shit. Now, now, don't get me wrong. Um, you know, I think about becoming that terrible monster, just fucking up the physical world. But I think about after the physical world, we are all reborn in in another world, and we start over from there. And
See,
that
you
and
talking
then
that's a
that.
whole nother different conversation right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that you see, my thing is humanity is not have is to me is an evil thing that the rest of the divine universe is why are these divine entities amongst us not introducing themselves to us yet?
Because we're too evil.
Exactly. They already know if we do, we're gonna be afraid. That's where the evil comes from, because what you're afraid of, false evidence appearing real, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're vibrating on such a low level that that fear dictates your energy now. It
Mm-hmm.
dictates your reality now.
And then what? And behold, what if we got a hold of some of their secrets and technology and learn a lot of the stuff that they know, but
We're gonna use it.
without the maturity?
Yeah, we're gonna use it for selfish, gluttonous, sensational reasons. Low vibrational, gluttonous, sensational reasons. We're
Yeah.
going to use it. We're not going to use it to evolve us into a whole nother condition, energy, or condition of existence. No. I like what you just
No, it's
said.
going to be used to.
Destroy all of like I'm with that. I'm with destroying all of physical reality and creating another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
And just retransforming the energy.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Purifying it through divine love. Right. And people
Well,
like y'all don't
let
know
it
what
go.
love is. You purify it through divine love because we're defining love through our lower vibrational experience.
But but in order for that to happen, all the impurities have to be burned off.
Right. Right.
All the impurities. Once the impurities are burnt off, then you can introduce pure, true, pure love.
Good looking out, Rashamir. I don't be doing the because it's like once I get I see like once you get an audience, you you gonna have you don't need more than one person running the show with you because there's so much other stuff that be going on and you just get caught up in talking.
Hmm. You don't see the comments and the questions people be asking. I see.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
I wanted to read something right quick because I don't think a lot of people are recognizing the power of Morocco. But
Hmm.
here is like a portion of the French protectorate, the French protectorate, right? It says the French zone. Like You will hear that repetitively. That's a repetitive theme in most of these treaties. The French zone, the British zone, this zone, that zone, right? What they're talking
Mm-hmm.
about is these are zones in Morocco. Because look, it says the French
Mm-hmm.
zone in Morocco, as well as in Tangier, and the Spanish zone here again. The French government has since 1912 been dissolved, considering that rights as an encroachment upon its position connected power to Morocco in Morocco, right? In Morocco, right? And that's another recurring theme in
Yeah.
most of these. In Morocco, right? They keep mentioning in Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, checked up to years. 1912, right?
And that's not. Yeah, that's not the Kingdom of Morocco,
This was
which was
before the
established in what
kingdom. Exactly. So
1957.
what Morocco are they talking about? Okay, so
They're
despite the
talking
fact
about the
that look,
empire.
right, despite the fact that the United States specifically reserved all its treaty rights when it recognized the French Protectorate in 1917. The French Protectorate is like a trust that was set up to protect. I mean, to enforce the treaties with all the European nations. They were basically custodians for the power. France,
Okay.
they're
Mm-hmm.
custodians for the power, right?
Mm-hmm.
The impact of the higher of the December 30th, 1948 sharpens the difference between the United States and the French over extraterritorial rights. Extraterritorial rights of what? Right? Morocco. They're talking about Morocco because Morocco spans and spans many lands, right? So whenever you're talking
Yeah.
about an extraterritorial jurisdiction, you're talking about
Yes.
empire,
An empire. Okay.
right? The question
Territory.
of the question of this right also in all and now brought before the court by the French government, such briefly stated that the respective position of the parties on the basis of which the French government has presented for the discussion of the courts, the
Decision.
four the decision of the court, the four statements which are reviewed between
Submission. The forced submission.
so the four submissions that are reviewed between the submission of the French government, right,
Mm-hmm.
insofar as considered the economic rights of the United States in Morocco, the
Mm-hmm.
issue is raised in the fourth submission, which require the court to declare and judge that the hire of December 30th, 1948, considering the regulations of import not involving or allegation of currency is in conformity with the economic system which is applied to Morocco. According to the convention which binded France and the United States, would bond France and the United States, the French government makes no challenge to the legal or original origins and existence of this economic right, which have been written into the numbers of binary treaties and into a binary treaty is a treaty between two nations,
Okay.
right? Binary
Yeah.
treaty and into the Act of Algiers, and have been specifically recognized by the French government in the treaty, which is including preliminaries to the preparatory to the establishment of the protectorate. Instead, the protectorate, whenever you hear the protectorate, they're
Mm-hmm.
enforcing Moorish law. France enforcing Moorish law, right?
Okay.
Instead, the French government alleges that the issue of the legality of the legal realm instituted by the hire of December 30th, 1948, is controlled by the recent convention to which the United States and France are a party, and now by the treaty. This is where the United States ascended to treaties in this convention, because the United States
Okay.
wasn't protected under this treaty, under these treaties, and not by the treaties rights on which the United States can't you, huh?
Realize.
Realized
Realize.
in effect
Realize.
the French government in alleging that
Allegedly.
these recent conventions have superseded or abrogated the
Abrogated.
the previous treaty rights, so far as the controversy related to the extraterritorial rights of the United States in Morocco. Man, listen, y'all gonna have to prove opposite now. Y'all gonna have to, all y'all motherfuckers trying to kind of, oh, this ain't Morocco. Okay, this is Morocco, social politically according to international law. This is Morocco.
Yeah,
Okay,
there it is, right there.
right
There it
there.
is.
The United
Yeah.
States in Morocco, and the French government has arrived in the issue in submitting 1, 2, and 3. In the first submission, the French government required the courts to judge and declare. Look, check this out. This is deep. That the privilege of the nationals of the United States of the United States of America in Morocco. They keep
Mm-hmm.
that in Morocco. That's a recurring theme. Or
Yeah.
only like people ain't even connecting the dot. What the fuck do the United States of America? The United States of America is not in Morocco. Yes, it is.
That's it.
So,
That's it
yes,
right
it is.
there.
Okay.
Yeah. I get the picture.
Only
I get
those
it.
which resort from the text of Article 12 and Article 20 and Article 21 of the Treaty of September 16, 1836, and that since the most favorable nation clause contains in Article 24 of the said treaty can no longer be invoked by the United States in the present state of the international obligations of the Sharifian Empire. That's another name. That's another
Mm-hmm.
name for the Moroccan Empire, the Sharifian Empire.
Riffian.
That's
Okay.
another name for it. Okay. There is
Uh-huh.
nothing. There is nothing to justify that. To justify the granting to the nationals of the United States of preferential treatment, which would be controversial. I mean,
Contrary.
contrary to the provisions of the treaties. So basically, the United States was trying to act as if they had so certain um, authorities or rights, and France
Mm.
had to correct them and said, "No, your rights are within the bounds of these certain agreements, conventions."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's you get it correct.
Yeah. You can't step outside. Okay. I see there. All right.
So y'all better recognize where your power lies. We are Moors.
Yeah,
We are
we are
Moors,
Moors in Morocco.
and,
We
and
are
our
Moors.
political mother is Morocco.
And we are in Morocco.
Yes,
And we just have to wake mama up.
the power still exists.
Yeah.
for those
Just,
for those who say treaties don't matter now, the treaties don't still have an effect today. Well, you don't understand international law. You don't understand how treaties work, because you can never unless you amend it, unless y'all go back and amend it. That's an agreement. It's a contract. What do you mean? How the hell you supposed to just get out of contract just like that? No, this shit is binding. It's a
yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
unless they go back and have another convention and they negotiate it again. And no, they ain't did that yet, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it stands, man. Y'all don't know what the
Okay.
hell y'all talking about. Those who say that.
Moors are Aboriginals, Alcabulans, inhabitants Africa, inhabited African niggers, branded black, so called Negroes.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this is why they branded it. So that's a badge of slavery. The Negro takes us out of our birthright, which is heirs to the estate, which is Morocco.
yeah, yeah.
We're
Well,
heirs. We're heirs to the estate, and we take our position out of that heirship by referring to ourselves as Black, African American, all that shit. Now we taking ourselves out of the heirship.
hmm okay. Well, I'm ready to call it a night.
All right.
Okay. My last words is keep believing in yourself. Keep doing your whatever it is you do, your rituals, whatever it is you do to cultivate your energy. Because right now, portals are opening up. And whatever it is you're desiring, whatever it is you truly desire, portal will open up and the energy will come pouring in that can make that reality very, very possible. Because I'm experiencing that myself over and over, but now to a very mm, I can't find the words to describe the situation, but it's beautiful. And so I've been telling people this for a long time: do your rituals, believe in yourself. The shit that we're telling you is real, and whatever it is you're believing that is coming to you and that you're picking up is real. If it's yours, and you might think, nah, this can't be true, but it is. It is. It's just your higher self trying to remind you how great you really are. But the the part of us that's been subjugated to all of this indoctrination, it's going to fight to stay alive. It's going to fight inside of us. They try to stay dominant, but there's no ground for it to stand on any longer. It, it's all turning to sand and dust. And so now is the time to take back. It's time for us to take back the planet. It's time for us to take back the planet. And now we have. There's a way for us to do it. This is divine providence. So I'm on board. So
Right.
mhm.
This is the time that you're not all the way logical, and you want to balance your logic with your instincts. You want to balance your physical reality with your spiritual reality. You know what I'm saying? When you balance these things out, you will become a full, holistic, divine human, and this is the nature of our existence. We exist in these parallel worlds, and we reconcile them. Once you at the level where you can actually reconcile them, right? Like for example, somebody asked me about my religious beliefs or whatever, and I'm like, I've advanced beyond I've advanced beyond just being a believer.
Yeah,
right?
really.
I've
Hmm.
advanced beyond just being a believer, and I know the power of belief. Though it's a power. That's a power that we
Hmm.
have. We can convince our subconscious of it, and that's what magic is. Okay,
Yeah.
right? This is why they spend so much time socially engineering us, right? They spend so much time subliminally programming us because they know
Yes.
that we change realities by convincing the subconscious, right?
Yeah. Hmm. The
So
blind.
the way you do this is shadow work, right? Shadow work is when you reconcile the light and the dark. You reconcile them.
Hmm.
What do I mean by reconcile them? You see them and you utilize them, not putting your emotion to either or, right? You don't put your emotions into them, right? And your emotions are very powerful. You put your emotion into what you trying to manifest. You don't put your emotions into energies of the universe that are um, inevitable, right? For example, what I'm talking about is your intention is to make everything positive, positive, positive. You're gonna have to recognize that there's gonna be a lot of negative that comes with that positive. You know that.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other.
Other way around. Whenever you got a lot of negative, and there's a positive there.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah,
So
when things are really fucked up, there's an
this is the
equal and opposite.
evolved state of thinking you want to have moving forward. You don't want to get caught up in this way or that way,
Hmm.
right? More like you want to more like consider all of the possibilities and be the mediator between these two things. You don't want to
Hmm.
put too much energy here, nor you want to put too much energy here. You want to balance these things out within yourself. You're balancing your energy out.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
you
my
don't want
last.
to be too one-sided.
Right. I
Balance.
mean, everything right now has to be in a state of symmetric.
Well, serenity. The world, we need to find serenity because right now, one is either too far to the left or too far to the right. They just need to be right in the middle.
The mediator.
Yeah. So there we can find reason.
We can see we can see the tapestry of the universe play out without necessarily uh, involving ourselves necessarily. We're just letting it play out, and then we utilize these energies.
Yeah. So you want to be at a point in the middle, balancing the right and the left. You like a scale. You want to be like a
Yes,
scale, balancing both of them. You need both. You can't be without. If there's one, there's going to be the other one. But there's a point in the middle.
right. And with that, we
Yeah,
out.
we're out. Good night, Marie.